Well, the stuff I've been working on, the new stuff that I've learned in my 65th year are the rolling globe, the freestanding ladder, balancing on the double-decker rollabola while hula hooping, juggling 5 balls, and balancing a spinning ball on a stick held in my mouth. And then what I've been trying to do with fire is do combination tricks, where it's not just juggling fire, but it's doing a whole bunch of different tricks, all on fire. It's interesting that during med school that I made more progress as a juggler than I did in any other time in my life except for the recent plague, because my life was so regimented and so focused that every day I would do the same thing. It would be 13 hours of work and then an hour and a half to 2 hours of practice, but every day. And that sort of discipline that I was able to bring to both the studies and the juggling really yielded some fruits. Well, so this is what I do. This is what a pathologist does for their day job. I'm what's called a surgical pathologist, which means if a surgeon takes something out of you or off of you, I look at it. So I kept juggling through med school, and I met my wife-to-be, and the performing caused problems in that relationship, so I put it on the shelf. And I found other hobbies and focused on my career. And so I stopped juggling and I stopped performing. But I really didn't stop performing, actually, because I started teaching. But the ones that are of interest and the ones that help define this tumor are these extremely enlarged tumor cell nuclei like we see here. Now this is a monstrocyte. Well, back when I first started teaching, the auditorium used to be full, and I would stride to and fro across the stage and extol the virtues of pathology and try to install that same passion in them. But over the years, it's become more electronic, and instruction has moved online, and we record our lectures now, and the audience has dwindled now down to, well, almost none. And so that performative aspect of teaching, you kind of have to pull it out of thin air as you're speaking to your computer through the microphone and recording as you mouse around a PowerPoint. And stayed with that then until about 7 years ago. I got divorced. I don't recommend it. It's a hard thing to go through. But other doors open as some close, and so I picked up juggling again. When you go through that shattering experience, it's very helpful to find community, and that's one of the things I was looking for as I was seeking to rebuild. I brought the stuff so we can rehearse the whiz-bang bit. Finding community with the jugglers and with the flow artists not only opened the door to letting me perform again, but really filled part of the vacuum that's left by that awful experience of marriage breaking up. Tonight we're at Rubber City Jugglers in Akron, Ohio, where we practice juggling, practice for shows, we rehearse, we teach, and we share what we do with our friends and family. I've worked with several partners over the years, so I've been working intensively with my latest partner, Matt. And we're working on about a 9-minute set, and we want to get this really solid because we want to get it right the first time every time, and to do that takes a lot of drill. There's a lot of repetition in juggling because there's so many places you can make a mistake. Every time an object leaves your hand is an opportunity to drop. And if you drop, well, you smile about it. We say to ourselves, every drop is a smile. Even though inside we're going, oh! In a nutshell, that was my life before the plague. I would do my day job as a doctor. I'd go play with these, and they're kids. I'm sort of like Rip Van Winkle now. I mean, these are 20-something kids that are my pals now, and I'm the old guy, but I throw stuff back and forth with them just like well, we're on the same team. Well, there's two aspects to how juggling feels when it feels good. And one of them is here in the studio. I shout in here when I get it right. When it's a difficult thing that I've been working at, I dance across the floor and stomp for joy. It feels really, really good. Now, for me, this may not look like a lot, I mean, from your point of view, but this is probably the most terrifying trick I do, including the fire. Because it's still hard, I'm just not that good at it yet. And I fell off in practice the other week. And even from this height, if you land wrong, falling is a problem. This you gotta be careful. When you get on, you gotta find the top of the ball, get your foot planted, and then lift straight up. Find your footing. After you developed a new trick in the shop, the next thing is to prepare it for performance. And then it's a bit tedious because there's a lot of drilling over and over and over again. You get it. With some stunts, if you hit it 8 out of every 10 times, that's good enough. With the really dangerous ones, you'd like to be 9 or 10 out of 10. Well, because with fire, you don't want to be the guy who set the place on fire. So you want to be really solid with this stuff. My day job is science, but this is kind of something different. More relying on intuition, I guess. I'm a basically shy person. I'm an introverted person, and that's a contradiction, right? I mean, because I'm this goofball who does these stunts on stage, but I think it's about having material. And if I've got material, like pathology material that I'm passionate about, that I can teach somebody about, or if I've got this great trick that I know I've got the tech of it nailed and I'm going to go out and ta-da, it's going to be great to watch, you know, good. But if I'm just up there being me, there's this, I don't know what it is, maybe it's a cultural thing from growing up in North Dakota, you know, oh, you think you're big stuff, huh? Yeah, you're not. It's a different thing how it feels performing, because that's not so much a momentary thing. Boy, I bet there's a whole biochemistry to that, because I could really unpack this. You know, I said earlier that I was an introvert. The afterglow makes me an extrovert for a couple hours. It really changes the neurochemistry. Going up in front of an audience, there's always nerves before, there's always stage fright. And that varies depending on what I'm about to do. But going out there and doing it right and having them appreciate you for that, it really feeds something.